this work? Okay, it does. Just setting up to record. Hopefully it won't slow down the game too much. Okay, so we're Spooky Squid Games. We're a small two-person game company here in Toronto. We're working on a few different things, but this is the biggest project we're working on, and we've been prototyping it over the last several months. So we're going to be showing you some work in progress. It's not the final game. It's early stuff. We've shown some of this previously at a Hand-Eye Society meeting, so if any of you go to those, you may have seen some of this, but we've tried to mainly pack it full of new stuff. Next slide. So this is two of the other games that we have, Night of the Cephalopods and Cephalopods Co-op Cottage Defense. We won't be showing these, but both of these are downloadable on our website, and we may at some point, just like while people are eating dinner or something, set up Cephalopods Co-op Cottage Defense, because it's two-player and lots of fun. And go next. So the game that we're going to be showing is Guerrilla Gardening Seeds of Revolution. And it's based on the guerrilla gardening street art movement, which is a sort of global movement of doing like graffiti with plants. So people illegally set up gardens in the middle of the night. These are all some examples of guerrilla gardening here in the city. One of them is actually a one-up or a power-up box from Mario with fire flowers in it, done by an artist called Poster Child here in the city. Yep, next. So we're taking that idea of guerrilla gardening and we're taking it to sort of a ridiculous extreme. So it takes place in a dictatorship run by an evil dictator called General Bauhaus, who has banned all the plants in the city. And you play as Molly Green Thumb, who's the one who doesn't look like a military dictator. And, excuse me. She runs around planting plants and trying to cheer up the citizens so that they'll throw off their malaise. They're all like really depressed. And that they'll get happy enough that they'll revolt and overthrow the dictatorship. And we generally describe the game as Harvest Moon for anarchists, but in actual fact, it's a little closer to like if Jet Grind Radio and Thief had like a love child, and it was made out of pixels and like little pixel art instead of being 3D. That's sort of what this game is. So it's sneaking and stealth and pissing off authority with plants. And this is what the final game will look like. This is an unplanted bit of city. Switch over to the next one. And there it is after you've done a whole bunch of planting. And what we're about to show does not look nearly this good. It's very simple. We've just got a simple tile set, just enough for us to sort of test gameplay ideas and such. So what we're going to do is we've got a very short level that just shows the basics of how it works so that you can get an idea of the general mechanics. And then I've got a ridiculously complex puzzle that uses almost every plant we've made. And hopefully you'll be able to follow along. It's a bit insane. So just give us a sec. We've got to boot up. And you can tell it's a prototype because a lot of text shows up before it finishes loading.
Sorry.
One thing to know is the sound in this is kind of crap. We've run into some trouble. We're using Java for the prototype. We're definitely not using it for the final game. But one of the problems we have is that we lose control of sound, so you'll sometimes hear the sounds clip or suddenly change in volume. There's not much we can do about it, but... Okay. So what you see there is a statue of General Bauhaus, and when you plant pretty flowers, just point out the... Oh, yeah, start running it.
Should be a simple mission. Get in, plant some plants, get out. What could go wrong?
Okay, so you can see those are ornamental seeds. They don't do anything. They just look really pretty, but you can use them to cheer up the citizens who are like the really depressed guys pacing back and forth over there. So you can plant those anywhere, and they'll be pretty effective, but if you plant them right near government propaganda, they're really effective, because you're just thumbing your nose completely at the dictatorship. So Molly's just planting 4 around there. But now we've got the problem that they're just too far for the citizens to see. So we're going to attract the citizens using a plant we call a smell so good, which smells like really tasty food, but different types of food to different people. So in a second, it'll have a burst of pollen that they'll smell.
Fresh brewed coffee. It's so pretty.
And then from there,
It's so pretty.
okay, yeah. Up at the top, you can see the sad flower with the earring in it. That's your happiness meter, and there's always a goal for every level, which is the little checked line. And once you've gotten enough people happy, the level ends. The levels that we have here in the prototype are very small and short. The final game will have sort of longer, more story-based levels. Okay, so we've got this one lone guy who just was too far away to smell the smell so good. So we're going to use what we call a perennial screamer, which they're called that because they just scream every once in a while. So it'll just take a second to warm up. And that freaks out the citizen. But now he'll notice. And you can see these guys cheered up so much that they're actually protesting. And actually, if they see a citizen who hasn't seen a plant that they know about, they'll wander up and tell them about it. And if they see a cop, every once in a while they'll run up to them and insult the cop.
I know you're...
Screamers attract cops.
I know this wasn't here before.
And he'll give it a kick and wander off. And if he kicks it enough, it turns back into a seed. Okay, so now we're going to load up the crazy level. Okay.
All I need to do is get through this hood